When surrounded by love, to distinctly hear voices from every room is the greatest delight. To not feel discomfort, but warmth in every corner of the house. A true sense of belonging like no other. I am my own person here, respected, but not left out, loved and not outcasted. I sit here at the table with no regard for proving myself for this seat. I'm not surviving here, but living. I felt confusion at first, but now I feel free. I finally have a space to read and to write, to eat comfortably. There is not a question where I ask, what's next? The next thing to do is to speak, to hug, and to love. To finally feel feelings without guilt. Let me in this book not forget the people that I love, the feeling of leather against my skin, and the sun's gaze through each window. I thought being an adult would bring me some sense of accomplishment, or any feeling at all that signifies the start of a new chapter, but it didn't. I also thought that antidepressants would make me happy, however, it just makes me not sad. I'm very confused, I'm passionate, but where do I take this passion? I've been doing things since the start of summer, and I really don't know how to take a break. I feel guilt for letting time pass by, and I'm not doing something. I'm grateful that I'm responsible and independent, but sometimes I imagine a life where I'm not, where I didn't have to worry about taking care of myself, but always cared and loved by my parents. But as my partner's mother said, it's my parents' first time parenting. It's their first time living too. I need to stop relying on others, or maybe I need to rely on people more. I'm confused. When I ask more of the people that I love, I am wrong, or I feel wrong. I feel alone, and I failed at asking to not feeling alone. I told him that I feel helpless, but I don't want him to feel trapped. I don't want him to only serve me. I just want to hold him. He fills me with euphoria instantaneously, like a drug. I feel addicted. I feel hopelessly addicted. Maybe I hate this cycle, and maybe I feel hatred again. What is my life if it isn't terrible physical and mental sickness? What is my life if it isn't consistent crisis? I'm screaming for help, but I've already run out of the energy to continue breathing. I don't want him to overextend himself. I just want him to want me as much as I need him. I don't know if the stars are aligning and I'm becoming happy, or if my body and mind are tricking me. I feel the purest form of love and sincerity one day, and the next I can grieve as if I'm losing someone. Maybe that someone is me, and I grieve each time I feel like I'm losing myself. But in turn, I've also been finding myself, in a space where I'm able to express freely. I don't worry about pleasing anyone but myself. My partner said, being able to express yourself freely has helped you be yourself and find yourself. I do agree. It's my mental health that always changes my perspective. Well, I only wrote this because I woke up, but now I'll express myself in other ways before I sleep. Good night. When overloaded with work, it's hard to continue. I can acknowledge that I'm feeling overworked, but what do I do now? I know I live to love others endlessly because that makes me happy. Does putting my education first truly mean isolation? I am smart, hardworking, but I also want to be happy too. The problem is, I know I'll get through it. I know I'll make it out on the other side of this week no matter what it takes, no matter what. Sadly. I feel sick, and when I do not feel sick, I feel numb. It is hard to wrap my mind around all injustice and oppression in this world. Maybe my mind is starting to wrap around it. Maybe that's the reason why I feel so depressed recently. I felt the same suicidal thoughts as before my medication, but I feel that my numbness is from the medication. I've been consciously and unconsciously skipping my meds. Sometimes I do it to feel something. then I end up regretting I even thought of that. Being off my meds make me feel like I'm being skinned alive. Being skinned alive is better than surviving another second. I want to embrace love and kindness so deeply. Why was I given such a destructive brain? Why does he want to kill me? And why does he point to the knife and smile? And I've smiled along with him. Am I so wrong to follow him? He lives inside me, how could it be wrong? Am I crazy for writing all this? I can't believe these are my thoughts. I cannot believe I'm living this way. It's been a second since I last wrote to you. The first semester has passed. I lived more days than I ever thought I'd survive. I haven't felt suicidal recently. I haven't felt that urge in a long time. I still have a complicated relationship with my family, and even more complicated relationship with my partner's family. I never thought I'd question my relationship to their siblings or their mom. But recent events had me feeling more disconnected than ever. Their mom reassured me from the moment that I started being vulnerable with her, that I was loved, supported, and cared for by her and the rest of the family. But now I just don't know anymore. She's mentioned to my partner that she doesn't mind me being at their house over the weekend, but nothing more since I don't pay rent. This has created unspoken tension. I just want to hide and run away. Maybe it was foolish to think that I was ever a part of their family. I'm seen as a burden now, and I want to run away from them forever. I thought I showed my appreciation for their mom and their family in many other ways, even when I was paying rent. I told my cousin what happened, and she offered me to live with her and her boyfriend for free. I feel happy and I appreciate her a lot, but I feel like I'm breaking up with my partner's family, and that's leaving a really big hole in my heart. Spring break has just passed, and I'm back. It's week 1 returning, and I already feel in turmoil. I've been fixated on the feelings of joy, happiness, contentness, and fulfillment. My self-confidence and ego have been fluctuating as well. My mind finds the next and the next and the next thing to be anxious about. I question the point of life frequently. I know my favorite activities in life are to love and to laugh, but mixed in the middle, when I'm all alone, I don't know what to do with myself. I doubt and question my every experience. Why? When I have a crisis about life, I go to my partner. Just because we don't have fun sometimes doesn't mean we need to distract ourselves until we do. Take a moment and some deep breaths and think about what you want to do in that moment. They're right, and they're always right. I think I'm afraid to sit and think about how I feel. I have a big fear that I'll focus on what I want and the answer will be nothing. Wanting nothing is not human. Being numb is not human, so I feel dehumanized and I start treating myself like an alien. Where in this silly universe is my brain from, and why do I function like this? I think my overthinking thoughts are mostly anxious questions that the universe doesn't have an answer to. I feel lonesome. Where there's lonesome, there's isolation. I miss connection. I know how rewarding it is to surround myself with friends, but how does one muster up the courage to be human again? It is my last day at work before summer break. I have no idea how time flies so quick. One moment I'm overwhelmed and suddenly it's all over. How did I get here? How did high school just end? Wait, didn't high school just end? I survived my first year of college on my own. I have my last exam on Monday next week. I'm so scared and it's so surreal. When did I get so busy, so accomplished? My brain is unwinding and getting ready for rest. I'm excited to just be. I love to be. Days have passed since my summer has started. Of course, I found myself struggling to relax. It's a hard shift from going to constant schoolwork at my job to nothing. I absolutely have nothing to do. It's hard. Summer break is hard for a workaholic. However, I've been getting better at doing the rest thing. I've been practicing every day to rest and do something fulfilling. I've been doing good for myself, finally. But there's been aching topics floating within my mind. Mother's Day just passed. I made my mom, well, my partner's mom, a handmade card, and I think she loved it. When I remembered, I texted my actual mother, Happy Mother's Day, with some meaningless emojis. When did our relationship become like this? Oh, I remember, when she made me lend her money. Yeah, that's when I stopped seeing her as my mom and just as my mother. We barely talked since then. Barely, and I love you since. It's early July now. The 4th has just passed. It's around 6 a.m. I don't want to say I'm struggling to go back to sleep because I'm not struggling. I am simply awake. I am simply being. Not to say I don't have things like the past, present, and future on my mind, because I do. I've learned not to be angry at my mind for running off in moments I want quote-unquote peace. I am a thinker, and that does not change at night. I am myself after all. However, my unhealthy, obsessive thoughts are the ones that truly bother me. Again, I find patience for myself and my mind. I have these obsessive thoughts about truly anything, any moment, and every situation. I am up late at night plotting about what I'm going to say to my friends on the first day of school, what outfit I'm going to wear tomorrow, and how I'm going to greet my patients when I become a nurse. How I lost the very friend that gave me this pen. See, these thoughts aren't necessarily obsessive over something. Rather, these thoughts are constant, obsessive over my very life. Beginning, I guess, to end. However, all these obsessions are rooted in worry. Worry that my mind is convinced I need to hold onto for dear life. I understand that now, and I give myself grace. In these moments, the most important words I need to hear from myself are, everything always works out. Meaning that in every situation that I've ever faced, I've always found a way. My worries are usually formed around the feeling, I've never done this before. And in this thought I reply, you have, in many different ways. Through change, I've come out brighter, lovelier, sweeter, stronger, farther than I ever could have imagined. It's nice, comforting, and necessary to remind myself of just that. I have found love, peace, and the present. I have found quiet in a soul, my soul. I have rested, awake, and not, just like I have always wished for. It's not that my thoughts do not race, but when they do, I'm able to acknowledge them, see them, and let them pass. Overthinking is a part of my natural state of consciousness. I will not abandon, shame, or hide that part of me. But I don't let the intrusiveness overwhelm me. I have gained the power to show myself compassion. I can cheer myself up when I'm sad, make myself feel pretty, please myself, embrace myself with the entirety of my being. And I'm here, and I'm glad to be.